Can changing your corner of the universe change the world? We think so. You've heard the quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world." But what does that look like? This is where we meet the people that are walking that out. One person, one idea, one decision at a time. Here's Baden and Rex.
Welcome to My Corner of the Universe. Today we have a very special guest joining us, Justin Sather, who is actually only 8 years old, and he's already making a difference in his own community and the world. He's got so many different projects he's got his hands on, and it all started with his love for frogs. So make sure you go check out his website, fortheloveoffrogs.com, and you can see all the things that he's up to, because he's not, like I said, not only making an impact in his community, but he has now people from other countries reaching out to him to help create projects in their own country. So kudos to Justin and his parents for helping facilitate these dreams. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We start off nice and simple. How about you tell us how old you are, Justin?
I'm 8 years old.
Okay, so what grade does that put you in?
Second.
All right, second grade. And then I understand you live in California, is that correct?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you like to do outside of school?
I like playing sports and lots of games.
Nice. What kind of sports do you like to play?
Soccer and baseball.
Do you have a favorite soccer or baseball player?
I like Messi.
And what's your favorite animal? I see you got it on the hat right there.
Frogs.
Frogs, all right.
And we're recording today on the 27th. This was some sort of a special frog day, right?
Yeah.
What's today?
Save the Frogs Day.
Wow, this is special. We get to do an interview with you on Save the Frogs Day. That's just perfect. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started with trying to save the frogs?
Yeah, I started in kindergarten when I got these 2 frog blankets.
And so you got those frog blankets, and then what? Did you find out any information about frogs? What was it about frogs that made you want to dig deeper into learning more or helping them out?
That they could breathe through their skin and drink, and there's over 5,000 different types of frogs.
And at that point, did you find out that the frogs were in trouble and they needed help?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that about frogs, that they can breathe through their skin. So the frogs needed help. What was going on? Were they dying out? Was it a poor environment? And then what was it that you did to kind of to change it? You know, I saw on your GoFundMe, it looked like you sold some items, and then what did you do with that money that you sold? You know, it looked like you built something pretty cool.
I turned them into treasures. Turned trash into treasures, and made wetlands.
So tell us a little bit more about the wetlands. You helped raise money to create a wetland environment for the frogs. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow. And that was at your school?
No, it was at a different school.
And so you actually, not only did you volunteer, but you actually helped rebuild a frog habitat. Is that correct?
Yeah. Then after I met Jane Goodall, she told me the dangers of pollution and pesticides.
Wow, so Jane Goodall's a pretty amazing person. Where did you meet her at?
San Francisco.
Nice. Was it at a zoo or an exploratorium or anything, or an event that you met her?
By the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, nice. Cool. And then it's pretty impressive, you know, at 8 years old, of what you've done. You've met, you know, the famous Jane Goodall. Have you met other kids around the country as well through this process?
Yeah.
And even across the world too?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the process. So you started saving money, and raising money through selling toy frogs. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then also, did you have some kind of shoes that were like frog shoes?
Yeah, I did. They were also in San Francisco. They're the company of Play Shoes.
And so how does that work? With the shoes, if people bought a pair of your shoes that had the frogs on there, then at that point, a certain percentage went to help save the frogs?
Yeah.
And is there a website that you connected with the funds that you saved?
Dr. Carrie Krager for the love of frogs.
Very nice. So one thing that's also really impressive is we if you go on your GoFundMe page, we can learn a lot about your love for frogs and the things that you've done. But you didn't stop there with making a change in the world, did you? You looked at what you could do with frogs. You built a wetlands area, but then you also had a pretty cool project of turning trash into treasures. So tell us a little bit about your bottle cap program that you put together.
I met Sammy. She was that was her project, and I collected 210 pounds of caps. Just 10 more pounds than my goal. Well, I just needed 200 pounds, but I got 210.
That was going to be one of my questions, is how many pounds does it take to turn bottle caps into a bench? So you had to save 200 pounds of bottle caps, and you got help through your community. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So for those of you listening to this that haven't read the GoFundMe yet, it was the plastic bottle caps like you'd see on a soda can or a juice container, those ones that were melted down. My question, Justin, for you is 200 pounds of bottle caps seems like a lot of bottle caps. Were those all in your room with you, or where did you put them at? Where'd you store them at until you melted them down?
Well, like in bags and in the house.
Was it a lot? Was it a lot of bags? Was it a lot of space?
Yeah.
Was your mom ready for you to ship those off by the time that you had all 200 pounds?
And so where'd you get the idea for melting down the bottle caps? You met someone that was doing something similar, is that correct?
Yeah, that's Sammy. She sent a letter to me, and and asked me, like, in the letter, if he wanted, if I would help her.
Nice, that's awesome. Go ahead.
With her project.
Nice.
I went all the way to Indiana just to meet her.
Wow, and how was that trip? Was it fun?
Yeah.
Cool. And so when you shipped all the bottle caps off to the factory in Indiana, correct? And they melted them all down. And what did they make with those bottle caps?
They made a buddy bench.
Cool. So what's a buddy bench?
It's a bench. If people are lonely, they can sit on the bench, and someone will come up to them and ask them to play.
Oh, awesome. And so is that bench in Indiana, or is that bench in Los Angeles?
Los Angeles.
Is that at your school, or where's the bench now?
At my school.
Awesome. And what did your classmates think about you saving all the caps to create a bench? Did they think that was cool?
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about how you got all of these caps. Did you go around to local businesses and ask them to save them and then collect them, once a week? And was it hard to do, or did you have fun getting the caps?
It had fun getting the caps, and it did take hard. It took 7 months just to get the 210s. Walgreens, the Staples Center, the Microsoft Theater, and my school collected.
Wow. That's awesome. Did some of those places ask you like, "Hey, what are you doing with all these caps?" And you were able to tell them about your project?
Yeah.
And so to go from there, you after you had the buddy bench, you started another project with toothbrushes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the toothbrush project.
I'm turning I'm collecting old like plastic toothbrush. I want like toothbrushes, and I want to like to turn them into maybe one of my own toothbrushes, or something else, or like a thing that's made out of plastic toothbrushes. And I'm giving out recycled toothbrushes made out of recycled yogurt cups to people that give me plastic toothbrushes.
Nice. That's a really cool project. You have a lot of things that you've done that are a lot of, environmentally productive things, like saving the frogs, building a wetland, recycling bottle caps. Was this something that your mom kind of told you at a young age? Did you learn a lot of the recycling from school? How did you come up with these ideas?
My mom helped me with it.
That's cool. Nice.
And so it sounds like you got another projects in the works coming up. Is that correct? Someone from Cameroon reached out to you about turning trash into treasures with over there in Cameroon. Is that correct?
Yeah. He's wondering what to do with like all bottles all these bottles he collected, and there's not that much like recycling centers there, so he asked me what to do. I think I might tell him about eco bricks. They're plastic bottles with trash inside them.
And
like once they get rock hard, you can turn them into something new.
like, could you use them to build something?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think you not only are inspiring people locally at your school or here in California or the U.S., but it sounds like you're inspiring people all over the world, and at such a young age. I think that's incredible. And is there any other projects that you've started or that you want to start in the future?
I want to like meet people, or like kids that are doing like stuff for the planet all around the world. I met so far I met Sammy, Aaliyah, Ryan's recycling. I met a guy that sings, but he's not a kid. His name is Mr. Eco.
Mr. Eco?
Mhm.
That almost sounds like a superhero name. He must be pretty cool.
Yeah, he does have a cape.
So one of the things that impresses me so much is that you took action at the side of a problem. So many people might not necessarily have taken action. So really proud that you stepped out of your box. Before we go, if people want to connect with you, what's the best place to connect with you? Do you have a website or a social media that people can connect with you?
I have a website.
Cool. What's your website?
For the Love of Frogs.
fortheloveoffrogs.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll link to that in the show notes as well. And then, Justin, I wanted to ask you too. Hopefully it's not too tough of a question, but if there's another kid somewhere in the world or in America or even in California that wants to do something cool like you're doing, it's really inspiring. do you have any advice for them? What would you say? Just go for it, or you had talked about in one of your GoFundMe things about being brave. What advice would you have for anyone who has a cool idea like you do and wants to go forward with it?
Like be brave. Don't give up, and just keep on trying, and don't let people like stop your project.
That's great advice. Love it. So I've got one kind of a fun question for you. What is your favorite frog?
I like mossy frogs and poison dart frogs. My favorite out of all my favorite out of all the poison dart frogs is the strawberry poison dart frog.
That's
and
great.
I have a stuffed animal.
Oh, is that a poison dart frog?
Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, thank you guys so much for coming on. Sherry, do you want to have any input or anything that you want to add?
Can I tell you a joke about?
Let's hear it.
Why did the frog go to the store?
Why?
To get French flies and Coca-Cola.
Nice. Love it. Well, thanks again so much for coming on today. Really proud of you. Keep up the great work. And I can't wait to see what you've done in the next couple of years.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here.
If you liked today's episode, you can find more information at mycorneroftheuniverse.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.